welcome back to another episode of Tip Tuesday. Today, though, I have my lovely host, my husband. Co-host, I'm sorry. I am the host. Anyhow, so a lot of you guys always ask these relationship questions, and I kind of just, I'm not going to say I ignore them, but I probably just give y'all the short answer to things. Before we get started, I do want to say, we don't have a perfect relationship, you know. While you guys obviously follow us on social media, both of us, and we post all the good things, we also have bad days. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't tolerate cussing, so we've never cussed at each other. So in the 5 years,
that got nipped in the bud
really quick. So make sure you establish.
This shit.
No, I don't do cuss words because I feel once you start cussing at each other, you kind of lose respect for one another. So I've just never allowed it in a relationship.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. So if you're currently doing it, maybe sit down with your other half and just kind of say, like, maybe we need to watch the way we speak to each other. Also, I think that a lot of our arguments or a lot of our bickering has to do with work because we're stressed a lot of the time. But as far as our relationship goes, guys, seriously, you know how people will say, like, oh, they just put a front on social media? We really don't. Like, I'm going to say, 95% of the time we are good?
What?
Like, our relationship?
Find out more next week. Clickbait. Yeah, no, we're good. And like she said, it's usually like work related. I'll be like, hey, since we're in a hurry, maybe we should shoot this video like this. Why you think we should shoot it like that? Well, I was just saying because the baby's crying and we need to hurry. I don't want to shoot it like that. And they give you that look and it's like, okay, shoot it how you want.
Really? Okay. So what I'm trying to get at is
so give me a couple elbows.
Yeah. What I'm trying to get at is don't think that our relationship is perfect. But like I said, for the most part, I am gonna say I'm fortunate, and I think it's probably we're both more mature in life now. We understand what we both want in a relationship. You know. So I think when you've kind of had some bad relationships in the past, you kind of know what you want in your new relationship and what you will and won't tolerate. And I guess when we started dating, I think we both kind of knew where we wanted to be and where we wanted to go as far as a relationship is concerned. And we're similar in a lot of ways, but we're different in a lot of ways as well. And where we're different, we support each other. And, you know, so I think that's where we kind of balance out. Would you say?
Well, I'd say we work well as a team.
Yeah.
And we're on the same page. So it's like you almost have to run your household or your relationship, not like a business, but you kind of have to know, like, all right, well, she's better with managing money. I'm going to let her be the CFO. And you know,
of the finance.
Yeah, stuff like that. So work as a team.
Definitely work as a team. And also anytime there's anything that needs to be done, I will run it by him and vice versa, just so that we're both on the same page and it's not like a surprise all of a sudden, like, whoa, what are you doing? It's like, whoa, I just thought that, well, you know, it's kind of better when you're kind of on the same page, and you understand, and
it's like a mission statement.
Yeah.
Like, my overall goal and priority is, you know, my family and, you know, being a good dad, being a good husband. So
for sure, and same thing for me. My priority is being a good mom, being a good wife, and actually being a good supporter. You know, with him being in the entertainment business, it's super duper important that he has someone who is solid. And not that I'm trying to be cocky about it, but I feel like I'm pretty solid and I'm a pretty good person who supports and sees his vision and wants for whatever his vision is to come to life. So I feel like I do well in that department.
Oh yeah, 100. Right, babe? Right.
Right.
For sure.
No, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, be honest. I mean, this is what this video is for.
Well, I was letting you finish talking, baby.
Okay.
You know? But yeah, everything she said. For sure.
So anyway, I don't know if this person who sent me this message actually wants me to say her name, but she had some questions, and
she
I felt
might want to shout out. Like,
you think so?
Person.
Okay, I'll add her name.
Say
Maybe
her name.
I'll say her name. It's Allie _GTZZ _Fitz. So anyway, so I finally answered her question. So I'm gonna finally answer your question. I know you sent it in a while back, but we'll go ahead and get started. So she just had a baby, right? And so she feels like being intimate again is kind of hard for her. Because she's just not motivated, the desire is basically not there, and so she's wanting to know, talking about the intimate side of our relationship. And I guess after having a baby, some things are personal, guys. But what I will tell you is this. The one thing I will honestly, I guess, give credit to my husband about is he never made me feel ugly. And I think a lot of the times, as you just have a baby, you kind of feel like, oh my God, look at my body. You just had a baby, so your body's doing all kind of weird things. You're wearing a diaper, for heaven's sake, after giving birth. It's like not the most attractive thing.
You gotta compliment her diaper. You gotta be like, damn, baby. Ooh. Is that a big booty?
Like that depends.
Is that a big booty, or is that your diaper?
Exactly. So, he never made me feel like you need to hurry up and get back to your old weight, like, you're taking, what's up with your weight here recently? It's like, you're not looking like the person I married, type of thing. So I think that always made me feel like there was no pressure. But obviously I want to look good for myself first, but also look good for my husband, because I feel that it's important for you to be healthy, not so much being vain here where it's like, oh, I want, this amazing body. No, I want to be healthy because I also want to be able to live a long time for my baby, so that I can be around to see her and my bonus baby grow up, graduate college, or whatever it is they're going to do in life. I feel like it's important. So I knew mentally that I wasn't where I ever have been, like that big. But it was also important for me to breastfeed my child, as I've said in the past. So I kind of was focusing on that, and he was very supportive of my decision. So he wasn't like, say girl, what's up? Why are you still looking like that? So number one, I'm going to say, if your husband isn't giving you that, feel good feeling, then maybe that's kind of where you need to start.
And that goes back to that love language thing, right? Where it's
I agree.
Where it's like communication, maybe he doesn't know that she needs to hear a compliment. And maybe, it goes both ways too, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess speaking about how to get your confidence back, again, it's just going to it's going to take time. You don't just have a baby and it's like, I'm back to myself. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a celebrity and you immediately get like a mommy makeover right after having your baby, then shit, you're going to wake up feeling like $1 million. But, for those of us who do it, the normal way, it's kind of like, it's going to take time for you to go back to your old self. It's probably going to take time. I'm going to be honest, I didn't have any intimacy issues as far as like not having the desire. I'm just going to be real. So I didn't have that problem. And honestly, I don't know if it was because maybe my placenta pills helped. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I know that for some women, it's very few cases eating your placenta will cause something totally different for you. Like it'll make you like, for the first time, I spoke to someone who actually still suffered from postpartum depression it started after she started taking her placenta pills, I had never heard of that. So I don't really know if that's true or not, but for me, and I know that it helps you balance your hormones if you eat your own placenta. I don't know if that helped my hormones maybe stay balanced to where the desire was still there.
Well, how about this? I'm not an expert on placenta or placenta pills, so I don't know if it's safe to just give all the credit to the damn placenta pill.
Yeah.
Like, I think, so if what are we talking about? Confidence here?
Yeah, just kind of, they're wanting to know, like, how we keep our relationship, like, basically like romantic, like what romantic things you do. And this is
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell them right in a second after you finish explaining what I feel is romance to me.
Okay, well, the way I'm going to try to address this question. Okay, so she's talking about romance, getting back into the groove, keeping the spark. I
Right.
feel like a big part of it is your routine and lifestyle. Meaning, do you watch a whole bunch of Netflix after the kids go to bed and now you're too tired to even, hang out, do anything? Because, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you're going, like, it's almost like your nighttime routine. Like, after the kids are in bed, is it y'all's time to hang out? Are y'all chit-chatting? Are y'all playing a board game, having some wine? Are y'all communicating? Are y'all... What happens after the kids go to bed and
Correct.
dinner? Because that's going to dictate whether you even have energy or even time to do
Right,
anything.
because you've already spent.
Because it's
time.
like, I had to watch Breaking Bad, and it's like, I don't feel like doing anything, and, I ate too
So
much
our routine.
Taco Palenque, and...
Yeah, that's a whole other. Don't go to bed full.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. But I guess he's right, and kind of piggybacking on what you said is, so after our baby goes to bed, it is our time. So whether it is that we have dinner together or we do watch an episode or two of whatever it is we're into watching for that time, but we cut it off. It's kind of like, okay, it's off. Let's go to bed.
Lately, sleep has been such a big priority that it's like
We've watched no TV.
It's really like Penny's winding down. She's in the high chair. She's bathed. She's in her PJs. She's having her little snack. We're getting dinner ready. So bath time happened with the baby. Bedtime happens with the baby. At that point, we might both be laying there with her till she falls asleep. Or she's putting her to bed and I might be catching up on some other stuff. But after that, it really hasn't been Netflix and all that. It's been like, okay, let's have dinner and let's chill.
Yeah.
And y'all know what I mean by chill.
But we make it important, right?
Yeah,
we make it a priority in our relationship, And it's so important to keep it spicy. Like, don't get into that dull routine where it's just like, what do they call it? Married life, sexless.
Sexless marriage.
Sexless marriage. Like, if you're in a sexless marriage, you should, I don't know, maybe you should sit down with your partner and actually talk about it. And, hey, we should probably consider, even if it's just a back rub, even if it's a touch or, even if it's just, foreplay, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's something that you talk about with your other half that's missing. As far as the romance is concerned, guys, I'm just not really into a lot of that stuff. If he brought a flower home to me, I kind of be probably like, bro, what is this flower? You know what I'm saying? But I know.
Waste some money. It's gonna die.
It's just like, it's just gonna die. Why did you buy this flower?
Now y'all see why I married her.
So, I'm kind of maybe there are a lot of girls out there like me. I've not met many of them that in that department that don't really care about that stuff. But for me, for example, if he would have written me a note, a handwritten note, and it said like, whatever it said, like, hope you have a great day. That to me would have been like the most amazing thing ever, right? It's little things like that. It's not like that. It's not like a flower or a gift or,
it's because your love, let's explain this. I guess your love language is more like, what is it? Words,
touch,
of affirmation,
hugging.
It's not really gifts.
Affection. Gifts is not my thing. I can go buy my own stuff of whatever I want, not to sound like,
and probably pick it out better. It's like, oh, do you have the receipt for that?
Yeah. So I just, gifts is just not my thing. It never has been. I've always been, pretty independent, so I feel like I can buy whatever it is that I want. But something that's super romantic to me and I find very, very, very helpful is that if he knows I'm putting Penny to sleep and she's kind of just not cooperating, he will take over in the kitchen, meaning he'll clean it up, he'll wash the dishes, and moms, or even if you don't have kids, if you're just in a relationship, if someone helps you out with the housework and it takes that load off for you, that there alone is just like, Man, thank you so much. And be sure, ladies, if your husband, if you do suggest it in your husband, or if you're watching this, guys, and you're listening to this, be sure you thank them. I know us ladies were thinking like, no one thanks me for all the stuff I do at home. I know
that's right.
I know no one thanks us. I get it, but they have their own ways of showing that they appreciate whatever it is that you're doing at home. And if he's not showing appreciation to you, then you should probably mention that to him, and you need to probably communicate with him that, hey, what about me? You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. He does a really good job about, if I express the way I feel about something, he's really good about listening and trying to, the next time around, do it, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever I just said, but am I missing anything as far as the romance?
It sounds like you're explaining to women how to train your husband. That's what it sounds like. Girls, y'all gotta let them know. You gotta nip that shit in the butt. But that makes sense because, like, some women that are like, who happen to be married to a dude that maybe, oh, my bad, I didn't know you wanted to be thanked for XYZ, or I didn't know that meant that much for you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, well, shit, how was he when y'all were dating? You can't all of a sudden wake up and be like, I married a caveman.
Sure, I agree.
And this motherfucker don't get all the clues. However, I'm not speaking for all of us dudes, but a lot of times, this shit might be cliche, like Mars and Venus. A lot of times we really just, stuff goes over our head and we don't even really pick up on the in between the lines, because that's where there's a miscommunication, where sometimes y'all might be like, I've been telling you. It's like, when? Remember when I was, I went for a walk? You should have known that was cause, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should have put all that shit together, because I was filling in the blanks and you should have saw between the lines that was what upset me. It's like, sometimes we just don't know. So that, communication.
Yeah, for sure.
I got you, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we won't be knowing.
Hey. But also, fellas.
Hey, how she raised her hand?
Also though, agree or disagree?
Okay.
If you fellas did a little bit more around the house, that freezes up your other half.
It takes stress off of her.
And guess what? You may get some booty that night.
She got more time to think about freaky thoughts. If she's not stressing over the dishes and cleaning up XYZ or picking up the baby's toys, now she got more room in her brain to think about you, dog. I'll be picking up for me.
Exactly. So,
because if she's stressed, she's gonna be annoyed.
Because when I get out of that room after putting that baby to sleep, like, and I see dishes,
another thing I gotta do.
Exactly. And so it's done. So guess what? If he wants a back rub, guess what he's gonna get?
I kind of do want one right now.
He's gonna get a back rub
with some CBD.
Exactly.
Some of that CBD.
It's an old man back rub.
Yeah. The Tiger Balm, like the Bengay, the Icy Hot.
So. So it's really about supporting each other, and it's a two-way street. Sometimes I think us as females, we want a lot of the attention and the praising and the anything you say, honey, or anything like that. But guys, it's a happy spouse, happy house. Both you guys have to be happy, don't you think?
Yeah, especially this day and age when not to take it to like a mental health thing, but if someone in the house, whether it's the wife or it's the husband, for all you know, there might be some medication you're taking that might be throwing off your hormones or your mood or killing the gut, but not to get too technical, like your gut biome is in charge of making your serotonin, and you're not taking enough probiotics, or maybe, like, in other words, sometimes people have shit going on in their spirit or in their head to where there might be something, weighing on their mind. There might be some regret, some anxiety, something going on at work. There's a whole bunch of factors that play into bouncing back from, like she said, she had a baby 8 weeks ago.
Yes.
That's barely 2 months. So, I mean, we touched on everything from, like, love language to, like, your lifestyle and nighttime routine.
Sure.
And communication, being on the same page. But, like, if it's really, like, in a situation, if you're married to a person, you have to be able to like sit down and talk and explain like, hey, I'm not feeling so hot these days, and I'm letting you know. You know what I mean? That way, he might be feeling like, well, maybe she got somebody else, or maybe she don't like how I look in my, construction boots or whatever the hell's going on. You know what I mean? And then it becomes a thing that festers, and it slowly starts to like, before you know it, people start to kind of like drift, and you don't want to let that snowball. You don't want to let that grow.
So, to conclude everything, babe, what would you say are our top 5 things that we do that help our relationship?
That's a good way to break it down. Okay, I would definitely say like our nighttime routine for sure.
So 1, nighttime routine.
Yeah, because that's usually going to be
alone time.
That's usually going to be your time to be romantic, or that's usually, people work. Yeah. So that's the time when you get to chit chat and hang out and do what you do. Another thing would have to be like kind of be in tune with your own, not like mental health, but like, is there something going on with you to where it's just you're not in a good place to even be able to, I guess.
So number 2, I guess, address your own issues. If you're having a bad day, tell your other half. Like, hey, I had a really pretty shitty day. Like, give me a sec. Let me get out of this like funk. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? I'll, give me a sec.
Because guess what happens? Like if, let's say the husband is at work and he's having a rough time at work with the boss or whoever, right? Some shit's going down at work. You're coming home from traffic. You finally come into the house. If you're the first face he sees, sometimes the brain starts to associate your face or whatever little attitude or whatever you have going on, starting to associate it to the shit going on at work.
Sure.
So, and now you're the face of traffic.
Yep.
And you have to be very careful on how you greet each other after that. Let me think.
So that's 2. Mm-hmm. What would number 3 be?
3, let me see. Would have to be like keeping track of like if your priority is to be like a better wife or better husband or whatever. What I do is I'll keep like goals, like I'll jot them down on paper, right? I'll take a picture with my phone and then I'll save it to a little album, a little photo album in my phone that just says goals or something. And I'll even have in there something, all the stuff that I need to stay on top of so that I could be a better husband. Like, okay, this could be a whole nother one. Ready? Listening. I'll throw that one out there. Listening. Like, teamwork starts to break down when someone's not listening. Mm-hmm. When someone wants to just be like, well, I think we should do it this way. I think we should, and not really listen to the other person. So I say try to be a better listener. How many is that? 4?
That's 3.
Oh, damn.
That was number 3. I'm sorry. No, that's number 4. I think you were right. Because it was number 1 was alone time, or you know what I'm saying, your nighttime routine. 2 is getting right with yourself.
Yeah, just knowing like, hey, am I on some medication that might be making me feel just your self-esteem? Like for instance, I think that one goes for number 2. Like your own self-esteem. Yeah. You should call it that. Like just kind of assess where your self-esteem is and what's affecting that. Because if you're not, it's like self-love, right? If you're not good with yourself, you're going to bring all that baggage and emotional baggage and whatever issues and things you haven't really dealt with or addressed, you're bringing that into the relationship. So, if anything, that makes it hard on the other person. I
agree. What would your 4th thing be, you feel?
I lost track. I know one of them was communication.
Yeah, communication.
Listening, I think was 4. I guess for number 5 would have to be like we'll call it like love language. I think that's a big thing. So, for instance, I like touch. I like having my back rubbed and stuff like that. I've made that known to her, and I mean, she knows. Like, hey, a little pat on the back with this dude goes a long way. Mm-hmm. Like a little back rub, a little 15-minute thing. It just, I don't know how people develop their love languages and stuff, but I guess figure out what yours is and figure out what your spouse is.
I agree. I would say that the 5 for me are definitely being friends first. I think we're good at being friends.
I think I say being fine. First of all, being thick.
Being fine. Okay. No, being...
Second of all, be thick. Third of all, dress cute. Which goes with self-esteem and self-love, right?
Listen, this is probably another reason why we get along well. We joke around like this a lot, all day long. This is pretty much...
Yeah, we would have gotten in trouble at school.
Yeah, if we were friends at school, like, sat next to each other, we honestly would have gotten in trouble. Like, they would have said, like, separate them. But I'll say be friends with one another. Like, you know, talk to each other. Sometimes, like, you know, there's things that, you know, you may have, like, issues with, but like explaining your point of view or my point of view on things, you know, or like things that you've been through in the past, and you kind of talk about them, and it's just like you feel better now that you're both, you know, you're just friends. You're like communicating and you know about each other, and there's really nothing that secrets, I guess, you know what I'm saying? You're just like really, you're friends, and you understand, and you know when something's going on because you're so connected in your friendship and your relationship, I guess. 2 for me, it also is communicating, so I agree with you there. 3 is also listening, because I don't always do a good job of it. I'll be honest with you, because I'm doing a million things at one time. But I try my best to remember and, you know, listen and take in consideration anything that he said. 4 to me is also making time for each other. We really don't do a good job of it as far as date nights are concerned, but our evening routines are definitely something that we have, like, legit, you know.
And that has a lot to do with cutting out TV.
Yeah.
And making sleep.
Which is why they say you shouldn't have a TV in your bedroom.
Yeah, because for you know it, you laying in bed next to each other, you watch TV, now nobody feel like doing nothing. It's like, well, shit, we got to wake up.
Exactly. And then I guess 5 for me is being supportive and just kind of like always seeing each other's vision and things you want to do, and, you know, so that you can like both reach your goals regardless of what each other's goals are. And then you should also have similar goals as far as like family goals and things that you want to do for your future. And I think that we two make that a priority in our relationship too, is our individual goals, our family goals, and then we have future goals. And I think that we do a good job of communicating and kind of trying to create some sort of plan to reach those goals. So I think we kind of touched everything, right? Like, is there anything else you think I'm missing that we do that
No, I think we hit all of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I hope that kind of helped you out. Give yourself some time. You just had a baby 8 weeks ago. Don't be so hard on yourself. Easier said than done. And I know that firsthand because I was really hard on myself until I just kind of accepted that this is kind of like the journey and the process after having a baby. We don't all just wake up and, you know, some women can have a baby and they're back to their normal weight like this, you know, and then there's some of us who struggle a little bit more and don't feel that good about yourself until you kind of like start to get there. So if that's where you are, it's okay. Communicate that with your husband. Let him know that it's because, you know, you're just not feeling your right now, your self-esteem is not there. And, you know, ask him to kind of like, you know, give me a sec, let me, you know, get my groove back.
Well, yeah, if there's like any insecurities, like that should be, that's, you know, that's y'all's business, and that has to be
for sure
addressed, you know, that way the other person knows, like, okay, well, you know, she already said she's insecure about XYZ, so.
And honestly, if I told you, like, I bet people think that we do like all these crazy things for like, as far as like going out and adventurous and romance is concerned. The good thing, like I said, is I think because we both came from, you know, we both went into our relationship knowing what we wanted, and we've both already done the partying thing and all that is concerned. Our idea of romance or having a good time is
tacos.
It's like coffee shops, going to Whole Foods with the girls,
going for a walk,
going for a walk around the neighborhood. I know they don't sound very fun.
This was gonna sound like an old person. Sit on the porch with your rocking chair.
Yeah.
Have your little coffee.
Exactly.
Viejitos.
Yeah, I know. And that's our idea of romantic and fun for us.
We work out together.
We work out together
most
also.
of the time, especially if we have like a training session with somebody or with like Sean or something. And that's almost like, it's not a date and it's not really hanging out, but you're there supporting each other,
Yeah.
and you're going through it together and encouraging. And
Exactly.
That might be an idea.
Yeah.
And there's always like a live comedy show. If you enjoy stand-up comedy, y'all should go out to one of those and make a night of it. That way the kids can go with grandma
For a little bit.
And get some laughs. Laughs
Yeah.
relieves stress. So I dare to suggest that as like a really good
I agree.
couples therapy.
That's another thing that we do. We go to a lot of comedy shows when we can.
I almost want to include in my next set. I almost want to include like a segment that's like not like couples therapy,
sure,
but something that's like with some crowd work and stuff. But
yeah.
I think it's important.
So if you haven't attended a comedy show and you want to go to one, go to chingobling.com. And that's where the next comedy show you can attend will be. No, but seriously, guys, I really hope that this helped you. Congratulations on having your baby. I hope that, your relationship gets better and you're able to communicate this with your other half. And I hope that we were able to help any of you guys who were kind of like in a rut, really not feeling all that good about your relationship. Hopefully that we were able to...
Or just need ideas to keep it...
Or just need ideas, yeah. Just, we keep it hot. You know what I'm saying? So tune in to next week for Tip Tuesday. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below, guys. I love reading all your comments. So thank you, guys, for tuning in. See you guys next week.